Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of TechSpark. This issue concentrates on design thinking, user-centered design, and digital experience, specifically within the financial services industry sector. With our 6-episode podcast series, you can listen to great insights no matter where you are. Your time is precious to us, so whether you're on your way to work or have errands to run, tune in to keep up on the emerging technologies in the world of financial services today. Podcast 3. Why User Experience in Finance Matters by Rob Human. Since the financial crash of 2007-08, financial institutions have been trying to regain trust and credibility. Rebuilding these relationship bridges is no easy task and can't be achieved overnight. But going forward, the financial industry needs to act in a customer's best interest, even when it might not be the most profitable option in the short term. Customer empathy has to be the primary pledge rather than profiting off the hoodwinking tactics of the past. Every financial organization wants to be talked about for the right reasons, which is why understanding customers and users of their products and services is so important. There has to be a pledge of putting the customer, the user, first and at the heart of what they do. Only then can these relationship bridges be put in place. One of the groups that were hit hardest during the crash are Millennials, also known as Generation Y, who now mistrust financial organizations. The days of banking with your parents' bank or using their tax advisor are over. Loyalty, in the eyes of millennials, must be earned. They typically tend to avoid the old-school, traditional banks and like to have more hand-on control with a broader spectrum of providers. Their needs are very different to previous generations, and rather than look at prestigious, formal organizations, they steer towards a more human, open, casual approach. Why focus on millennials? Millennials are on track to be the largest adult segment in the world and have a very different attitude to finance when compared to previous generations. Also, their exposure to digital is significant, which means they have high expectations regarding digital product and service experiences. This group will be highly influential and will want things differently. They will expect advanced digital experiences in every aspect of their life, be it personal or work-related. Their attitude to brand is different. They aren't uncomfortable with an automotive brand venturing into retail or a sports brand venturing into finance. According to Forbes, 67% of affluent millennials are open to products and services from non-financial service brands, compared to 45% of affluent Generation Xers. They are more interested in the experience and quality of services or products, and tend to be early adopters of different approaches to market, especially in financial services. They are happy taking control of their finance with a bigger element of ownership, and specifically look for a company's social media maturity and its ethical and social standing. Once a company has an affluent millennial as a customer, they are highly loyal. Wealth management is high on the agenda, as they typically are almost 3 times as likely to save more than half their paychecks each month compared to other groups. Income can often come from different or multiple sources, and investing for the future is high on their agenda. Easy to use, frictionless, intuitive, and convenient financial services and products will be in high demand from affluent millennials wanting to manage wealth. They will have very little patience for digital experiences that are not well thought through. That's not what I expected. What have I done wrong? I give up. I can't find what I want. 15 steps? I don't have time for this. I don't know where to start. Another UX factor is that millennials crave convenience and ease. Finance brands using digital to attract new customers are already speaking the right language. Digital self-service keeps millennials in control. UX and digital product designers need to keep this at the forefront of their mind because these power persona are critical to the design process. Understanding UX and its practicalities. The user experience in financial products and services needs to embrace personal attributes right from the start. Empathy, insight, and understanding are critical as UX starts in the mind, not on the screen. Too often, user experience is seen as the magic dust you can sprinkle at the end of the process. Brand experiences in banking have shifted and will continue to do so. The traditional confident corporate blues, the reassuring greens, and calming stable navy blues are being superseded by fintechs, using liberal splashes of fluorescent oranges, greens, and cyans. The way a finance organization speaks to you has changed to be more friendly, less serious, and more approachable. Typography has shifted from the old-school serifs to modern, less formal sans serifs to bring experiences alive for users. Financial organizations are moving away from the stern headmaster persona to a trusted friend, and now with open banking are providing a marketplace full of trusted cohorts. Too often UX is seen as an afterthought, which then often leads to the misunderstanding that UX is a beautification exercise or a UI usability fix, when actually it's the entire design of the product or service experience. If a product hasn't gone through some fundamental user involvement, this will surface in the long term, leading to more development time, additional expense, and in some instances, trying to reverse any reputational damage. Not an easy exercise once the damage is done. So, what are the implications for enterprise UX? Millennials now make up the largest generation in the labor market, and their employers are not immune to their exacting demands. Organizations need to live and breathe internal values that resonate with their employees just as much as their external values do with their customers. Presenting digital natives with software that takes months to learn just to do their jobs is simply driving them off a cliff edge. B2B, B2C, and B2E have historically tended to have different UX strategies. Today, those lines are blurring, and the high expectations of consumers are expected in the workplace. After all, why should CEOs, mid-level executives, or general employees put up with a worse UX in their work life than they enjoy as consumers? To conclude, here are the key takeaways from this episode. Experiences happen every day, some good, some bad. You may remember them, you may forget them, but there are two things evident in today's world. Number 1, people are expecting a great experience by default. Number 2, bad experiences get remembered and can damage reputations. Give people a great experience, and it makes them positive about their life or makes their jobs easier, which creates a sense of feeling cared for and considered. They know they have been thought about in a meaningful and valued way. It makes them loyal. So when creating a new digital product, the very first questions shouldn't be, what technology will we use to deliver the product? Or how will we measure KPIs? But how do we want the customer, user, to feel about us? Start with the experience, and the other questions will follow. Why? Great experiences equal happy and loyal users, equal self-investment, both personally in terms of commitment to the company and financially in terms of product revenue. Want to know how to shape user experience to stop driving millennials off a cliff edge? Please email techspark@excellion.com.